we want to consider the t-test. We have the one sample, the paired samples, and the independent samples t-test. We have three libraries that we would require for this work: the tidyverse, the Foren, and the stats package. So for the first part, I want to look at the paired samples t-test, and I have a data that is an SPSS data. For me to be able to load it into R, I'm using the following package, and that is my data set that I have: the gender, the age, the education, financial literacy, bank usage, mobile phone, income 1, household size, and income 2. And based on that, I had to import in my data into R, use value, labels is equals to true, and to data frame is equals to true. All t-tests are paired, so I'm picking income 1 and income 2, and that is column 7 and 9 of my data. So I said in the data social, select column 7 and column 9, and I want to do what we call a pivot wrong in it. And then after that, I change the income 1 as 1 and income 2 as 2. And then I have the names as period and the values for the income under the column income. So if I view the social 1 data, let's see what we have. That's how my data is: period 1, that is income 1 and income 2, income 1 and 2, and the values that are at the change of income between the two time periods. So I use a pivot wrong to be able to do that. Now, when it comes to the paired samples, I say t-test, which is under the stats package, income with period, and the data is social 1, the data that I've just created up here. That I say paired is equals to true. And if I execute that, what do I get? I find that my t-value is negative 65.429. My p-value is statistically significant. So it tells me to see that there was a significant change in the income between the first period and the second time period. So I think the main work involved here is how to manipulate your data to put it in a form that the t-test for paired will understand it. For the independent samples, here I would consider one factor or one categorical variable and one continuous variable. And so I'm going to use a select just to select for me the columns that I'm interested in. So I call this social 2. And that is my data. I have the male and female. I want to see if there is any difference in income between the gender male and the female from my data set. So that's what I have. So I said my t-test, income to gender, income 1. I'm comparing the initial income to gender, and my data is social 2. I said paired is false. Remember in the previous case, I said that paired is true because that is a paired t-test samples, and this is an independent sample, so paired is false. And if we do that, we find we also have some results here. The male income is 65,972 and the female income is 65,700. Then you find that there is no significant difference between the income of the male and the female. And it's evident here their income are almost the same. There is a difference of 272 approximately. So, and that's why you see the value is greater than 5%. So the findings are not statistically significant. Now, you use the one sample status when you have only one sample. Here, I have only I have only income, and I believe that the income is greater than 40,000, and therefore I'm using the data social. And what are the findings do I get? The average income for the male and the female combined together at the beginning is 65,909, and it's true. The findings are statistically significant because it is more than 40,000. It's greater than 40,000, and so that is a one sample t-test. So what we are doing is we are looking at the paired samples t-test. That's the process, and then we have the independent samples t-test, and then finally we have the one sample t-test.